Donna's stuck in the office with some ugly bald guy behind her. So good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Merry Christmas. It's starting to wind down. Been too long since we've gotten together, so we'll try to make this meeting efficient and move things along. First and foremost, Sheila Kane, are you out there? Can you speak? Hello, Sheila.
She is not on here.
Or push down the space bar.
Push down the space bar. Okay, I think she's out there. I don't know if she can talk to us. But an update for everybody officially. Sheila Kane has been appointed to the manager's position at Fair Forest Elementary School. Has been over there doing a really remarkable job for several weeks now. And we went ahead and interviewed some candidates and went ahead and made the offer, which she's accepted. So congratulate Sheila Kane. And everybody knows when we start new people, they need help. So when she reaches out to you, be gracious and give her a hand. Congratulations, Sheila. A few good news stories from around the district. Debbie Logan, are you out there? Can you use your technology? Debbie Fowler?
She's on here. I saw her. The face popped up earlier.
Hey, Debbie. I see Cheryl Blaylock.
Hello? She's listening.
Can you talk?
Can you talk?
No, I can't hear nobody.
Okay, she can't talk.
She can't talk? Okay,
We're
well,
on speaker, you can hear.
no, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Speakers on 62. And
Sheila, we can hear you.
But she can't hear us. That's the problem.
thing. This. Leave the call. Go. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm talking, but I can't hear.
We can hear you, Sheila, but you can't hear us.
Right, she can't hear us. So, okay, so moving right along, where we were going is I was just looking at some recent good news stories, and the other day I sent it out. Debbie Fowler sent us an email saying that they were up over 400 breakfasts over at the Dorman campus, which is huge and good news. Congratulations. College and Career Center, Jeff, are you out there? Jeff isn't out there. Okay. College and Career Center is showing huge upticks this year as well. I mean, I think last year, Andrew, we were 400 lunches. We're up to, yeah. Last year, College and Career Center was mid 400s, and this year they're up in high sixes. So congratulations there. All right, Brandy's with us. If you have a mute key, go ahead and use it. All right, so going through some of our agenda, another announcement to make. Beginning in January, we have a new person starting over at processing, and Rob Glacken is going to join us, and we're really excited about Rob joining us. He comes from Greenville County Schools, where he was managing J.L. Mann High School, but he's also a training manager, so he's responsible for training another 18 or 20 schools within the district over there. And J.L. Mann is their Showplace High School, and he's coming over to help us continue to increase what we're doing in processing. So what will happen now is Kyle will be overseeing the whole catering operation. Rob Glacken will be overseeing the processing center, and they'll be working together out of processing. So the good news for College and Career Center is 80% of the catering garbage that's over here is going to be transferred to the College and Career Center, to the processing center, so that we can centralize operations there. Then those two teams, processing and catering, will begin to work together on a daily basis. There'll be, if there's a bunch of processing going on, catering can help them. And if there's a bunch of catering, processing can help there. Hold on just 1 second. Here, you want to talk Nick in for me?
Well, he came all the way from Dubai.
All right. So that's the update over at Processing Center. At this point, I am going to throw it to Dawn Harris. Any updates from Mrs. Dawn Harris?
Yes.
I can't hear you, Dawn.
So I'm going to speak for Dawn. Dawn first asked that when receiving perishable foods, we need to make sure we're recording the temperatures on the invoice. So when the milkman comes, and you temp a milk and you write it on the invoice. That's should be part of our HACCP procedures. And I think Shelley had asked that we not write on the invoices, but we need to. That's how we're documenting food safety. So milk invoices, produce invoices, refrigerator temps on U.S. food invoices, please go ahead and start to mark that. Also, Dawn was holding up a laminated poster for dinner program that is coming out, and you will need to post. How did I do, Dawn? Okay, Dawn gave me 2 thumbs up, so I guess we're good. Okay, so moving down the list here, Andrew just stepped out. He's going to address you in a minute, but we're going to jump into financials. So did he come around front or? So here comes financials. I'm going to go ahead and try to present for you here. Anybody looking at my screen yet? No?
There it comes.
Okay, can everybody see where I'm going here?
I see your screen.
Did that just pop up for everybody? Are you looking at a spreadsheet?
We just see your screen. We saw your email screen.
Wow, that's a really cool mirror.
Okay, there we go. Thanks everybody for your patience. What I am beginning to show you is financials for the year. Now, why are we just now looking at financials in December? We could not get financials for August and September because the State Department had not released the reimbursement rates. So we were selling meals having no idea what we were getting for them. And because of that, we could not report any revenue. So we had our kind of thumb on the pulse of things, but we're flying a little bit in the dark. But what you're looking at here on my screen is you are looking at the profit and loss through the month of September. And down the bottom, you see a number down here, $154,000. That was our financial loss after 2 weeks in August and 4 weeks in September. As a department, we took $154,000 loss. Now, if you look here in this column, the year before we had $127,000 gain. Okay, there's some really difficult things happening there. First of all, we had 2 weeks in the beginning of August with no revenue. That was all booked. And the other thing that we're seeing is because of the way we changed our summer feeding program, we came out of the summer with a lot less revenue than we had last year. So we were not shocked. I was not shocked to see that reduction. Okay, so what we see in the month of September is we're still operating in negative numbers. Now, let's see if I can bring you to the next month with any luck. All right, we're back up. Fast forward through the month of October. And if you look as a department, we started with revenues of $2,532,000. And then we had compensation cost of $1,121,000. And our total expenses was $2,357,000. And if you look here, after the month of October, we're showing $174,000 gain. Okay, so we've made that up. One of the issues that we caution you is that there is a free chunk of money in here from the federal government as a post-COVID food cost relief fund that they sent out to schools. So we had about $140,000, $150,000 in free money that hit. Okay, and as a result of that, we're $174,000 up. The other thing here is that because of the way DSS is paying claims this year, we're not showing $50,000 in revenue here for CACFP. So we should add another $50,000 onto that line, which puts us about $220,000 ahead after the month of October, with a little boost from the federal government and CACFP paying their bills. So, we went from ugly in September to not so ugly. But we really this year are going to have to watch our operational costs as we go forward. The cost of raises that we gave last year is impacting. You can see an increase of 5% there, but that's a good thing. We're happy about that. But because of that, we're really going to have to control our cost. So in review, through the month of October, we're about $224,000, $225,000 to the good, which is good. What we expect to happen in the month of November is that trend will help. I expect to see us throw another $150,000 on the bottom line in the month of November. And then December is going to hit us and crush us because we have no sales in 2 weeks in December. And that number will go back down again. and we'll have to hit the ground running in January. So that's where we are financially in mass as a district. Okay. Now, when I go into individual schools, okay, and look at everybody's numbers, everybody's doing fairly well. Okay. We don't have anybody out there that's alarming. Okay. And again, when you look at these numbers, if I would send you this spreadsheet, anybody with CACFP, your numbers aren't in there. So if I go to, Arcadia, where there's a dinner program, this is showing that they literally lost $1,600, but there's $10,000 in revenue on top of that. That's 11,000 or 9,000. So anyway, everybody's in pretty good shape. Not making a ton of money, but not losing. Let's go to okay. So I sent everybody out before the meeting the financial dashboard. And if you go to the bottom and you navigate the tabs in the bottom, you can go to KPI by location. And then you can just drill down here and pull up your own schools and see where it is that you're performing. And so we've got Anderson Mill popped up there only because it's alphabetical. And if you look here, Anderson Mill is showing very, very typical right now as far as participation trends. We're happy with their lunch trends. We'd like to see breakfast go even higher, but they're performing higher than we budgeted for. Food cost at 33%, labor cost at 31%, and the supply cost should jump off the page and scare you because that's a big number. Okay, then if I were to show you Arcadia, you would see that their numbers are incomplete, so it would be scary. But let's look at Dawkins Middle. Dawkins Middle, food cost is 39%, labor cost is 32%, and again, that supply cost is heavy. Okay, and down the bottom, you see that the meals per labor hour is showing in here at about 15 per 8, but we're tracking that from a more accurate standpoint. We're tracking that in Healthy Pro. So anyway, I'm sorry, we're letting somebody in here to the meeting. So anyway, I sent this form out to you, and I would like you to take 10 minutes or so, open the document, and see where you are. If you need any questions answered, we'll be happy to jump through it with you. But nobody is in alarmingly bad shape right now. Breakfast in the classroom programs, Lone Oak and Woodland Heights, we really need to regroup in the beginning of the year and make sure that we're executing offer versus serve and mitigating any cost overages at breakfast in the classroom. But so nothing alarming right now. Everybody's falling right into check, but we do have some control measures that we can start to discuss, and we will. I'm going to exit out of here. I think. No, I'll leave it there for a minute. Bouncing through the agenda, financially, we're clawing our way back. Some of the things that we can do to start to regulate some of these high costs. The first thing that I want to bring up is juice, the shelf-stable 4-ounce Sun Cup juice. When our milk bid went from 22 cents a container to 36 cents a container, I thought I was going to be really, really smart. And we trained you this summer, and we said, okay, what we'll do is we will offer a juice component as a fruit component in the milk box. Therefore, kids who don't really want milk won't take milk, and our cost will drop. That was pretty good thinking. But what we didn't plan was the other side of that equation. In a lot of schools, we're serving juice on the lunch line every single day. And the bad news is kids are taking it, and they're taking it really, really aggressively. In fact, Debbie at the high school says they're stealing it aggressively. So here was where my mistake was in our logic. What we did not account for is that we're spending $400,000 in DoD produce. So when that DoD produce comes to your back door, you own the value of it, but realistically, it was a gift card, right? We didn't have to cut a check. We didn't have to pay for the delivery of the DoD, and we didn't have to pay for the fruit or the vegetables. So when a child opts to take a juice instead of a piece of fresh fruit, they took a juice that you had to pay for, and they left the fruit behind that we got free. So what's happening to us is it's driving our food cost up a little bit, but it's also slowing down our draw on DoD produce. We've got to spend that $400,000 before May, and we're behind the curve on usage because kids are taking juice rather than fruit at lunch. What I would like to see everybody doing is starting to pull juice off of their lunch lines. If you feel like it's going to be culture shock to do it all at once, then you can taper it off. Run it Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Tuesdays, and then no more. Something like that. The other thing that will help you financially and help us financially is if you, a couple of days a week, don't offer fruit juice as an option at breakfast, but go ahead and offer 2 or 3 different fruits. Because again, DoD produce is free. Any questions, concerns on fruit? That was a mouthful. Anybody got any comments? Everybody got it? Anybody not got it? Wow, you scare me. All right. So we're going to taper ourselves off of juice at the lunch lines. We're going to try to taper ourselves off of complete dependency at juice in the morning, and start to really pull on our DoD produce. Right along with that, I'm going to need somebody to speak up. Somebody tell me if you got your Gold Star delivery.
Sheila raised her hand, but we can't hear her.
I saw Sheila raised her hand. She's
You're
Yeah.
muted. That's why we can't hear you.
so okay.
We got ours.
Perfect. Thank you.
Unmute yourself, Sheila.
Okay. So anyway, your Gold Star is starting to roll now. And in review, what you're going to be seeing in Brown Box financially is going to be important to us as we complete the year out. What was delivered, or what is being delivered, is sleeves of American cheese. And remember, you're doing grilled cheese sandwiches 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So use that American cheese up as quickly as you can. Again, it has a value to it, but we're not paying the value. It's a USDA gift card in action. So use, where appropriate, that American cheese. And then right on top of that, you're going to see raisins. Okay. Start using those raisins at breakfast. Start using those raisins in after school snack, and you can offer them on your lunch line. But let's not just sit on them. Go ahead and use them.
That might be why you're not getting many response. You want to tell them how to mute,
Okay.
unmute themselves. Next time you ask a
Okay.
question.
Don Harris is handing me notes here. Anyway, so raisins, you'll also in the future see some craisins coming in. The majority of what you'll see coming in Gold Star is going to be frozen vegetables, a 5-way mixed vegetable, frozen broccoli, and corn. So here's the rub. You need to start using that as quickly as you can. I want you to burn it up as quickly as you can. Now, the way our menus are configured, Wherever you have a farm vegetable, whether it be Dr. Owen squash casserole, wherever it be sweet potato souffle with pineapple and coconut, roasted vegetables, that is going to be the menu slot where you start to burn up your USDA frozen vegetables. Okay, so you have complete liberty to switch that out. If the menu today says Dr. Owen squash casserole, but you're sitting on 6 cases of corn that you got from USDA, go ahead and sub it. What you don't want to do is to sub the other vegetable. The second vegetable ensures that we meet our vegetable subgroups for the week. So when you sub your vegetables, make sure you sub the farm vegetable line. Okay? Any quick questions or comments on that? Okay. All right. Well, I've been talking too long here, and Andrew's back from his running errands for me. So I'm going to, if I can, throw this over to Andrew because he's got a quick update for you.
Can everybody hear me? It's not off.
Here, you're going to just turn yours off because mine won't turn off.
I just muted it. But... Can anybody hear me? Okay, good enough. I only have a couple of notes. First one I want to talk about is uniforms. Every day, you're required to wear our uniform, which is, I can go over it if we need to, but black or khaki pants, safety shoes, non-slip. They can be black or brown. And you need to be wearing this chef's coat with a hat or a hairnet. If you've reached out to me and asked me for a spirit day or something along those lines where it's a holiday kind of thing and somebody in your school, your principal wants you to wear a special shirt, I'm okay with that happening as long as everybody has the same matching thing. If one of the employees does not have something that matches, then everybody has to wear the uniform that we've been given. Are we clear? Thumbs up. Cool. Means even when we're setting up, even when we're, prepping anything in the back, our uniforms need to be on at all times. Second, Healthy Pro. I want to make sure that I've been doing a lot of production checks lately, and I want to make sure that everybody is going in and entering in their prepared numbers correctly and then clicking finished once they're done. You got to make sure we're entering in prepared numbers. These are our production records. This is very important that we get this stuff right. Click finished. Then we got to make sure on the other side that we are clicking finished on our prepared side, serve side, excuse me. Does everybody understand? When we run reports on this kind of stuff, the accuracy is very important on how we make decisions about steps to take with your different schools on your meals per labor hours, if you're getting a la carte sales, things like that. It all makes us, it all helps us make decisions. The better we can get these numbers, the better we can make decisions. So just make sure that everybody is filling in their numbers correctly. If you got any questions, call me, send me an email. And then we got to make sure that we're clicking finished on both the prepared and the served sides. Thumbs up. But I got it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Okay. So I told you we were going to do some things to mitigate cost. Using your DoD produce in lieu of juice was one of those. Using your brown box vegetables and raisins and cheese is certainly going to help us. but I want to talk for a minute about supplies. Trash can liners from US Foods are running us $90 a case, and we're going to be able to get them on the state bid for, what we say, Andrew, $16 a case? Yeah, something stupid. So we're going to be procuring trash can liners off the state bid, like we did last year. And it will be, the same can liner you're using, the 90 mil white, 60 gallon, 38 by 58. So we'll pull those in off the state bid. So what I'm going to tell you to do is don't get too far ahead of yourself with trash can liners with US Foods. Buy what you need until we get this shipment in, and then we'll drop ship them from processing. So, if you're using 2 cases a week, buy 2 cases a week, but don't buy 3. And we'll go ahead and drop that trash can liner price from $90 down to less than $20 a case. Right on the topic, when I was showing you financial numbers, I was noticing or showing you that our supply cost is up 2% over where it should be. Let's see if I can share again here. Here goes. Okay, so I was in a school the other day receiving a truck, and everybody see my screen? See it, Andrew?
I can't.
You can?
I cannot.
You cannot. Okay, hold on. Let's try it again. Okay, there you go. Little quick spreadsheet here. Was in an elementary school the other day, receiving some items, and I checked in some boxes of forks, black Dixie forks, used for the fork and knife and spoon dispensers that I know, when Travis was here, everybody brought in those dispensers, and you were using those products. That Dixie fork alone right there is 4.2 cents. Okay. My fear is when we give the students the opportunity to take a fork, that they then may also be taking a spoon. So we would double that cost and be sitting in at 8.5 cents. What I need all of the elementary schools doing is not buying the Dixie black dispenser products. I want you using the spork and napkin kit that comes in at 2.6 cents. Okay. So by doing that, we're going to be saving at least 2.5 cents a day per service. So 5 cents if you include breakfast and lunch. And if people are serving forks and knives, it's we're saving up to 6 and 8 cents a day. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you look at my spreadsheet here, just by switching from the Dixie fork to the spork kit over 180 days at 700 meals today, breakfast and lunch, that's $2,000 in one school. Okay, so simply if we have schools switching to the spork kit, we could drop about $40,000 to our bottom line by making that simple case. So we're going to do that. The trays, I'm still seeing compressed trays coming in. Compressed recyclable trays are 11.6 cents. The black tray styro is 8.6 cents. So if we run the same math, we did 700 meals a day, over 180 days, it's almost $4,000. So again, between silverware and trays, if we all make sure that we're doing the right thing, we're going to save ourselves between $40,000 and $80,000, which quite honestly, people, we need. So if you're ordering the compressed trays, use what you've got in your inventory and then move towards the black trays. Okay. And they're still expensive this year at 8.6 cents a tray. I mean, 2 years ago, they were 3.5 cents. So we're still paying a premium for trays, but I'd rather see you at 8 cents than 11 cents. Any comments on supply cost? Anybody awake out there? Okay. Over the break, I want to make sure that everybody is thinking now about what is in their cooler inventory before we go away on break. We want to try to get that as tight as we can. We have the coolers being monitored. The coolers will be monitored for temperature Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then the next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then, New Year's week on that Monday, which I think is the 2nd. They'll be checked again. So we are checking the temperatures regularly. We also have somebody also checking the processing center on Sunday mornings because the processing center's got a large inventory and it leaves me sleepless at night. So we're checking the processing center on Sundays as well. Okay, back to let's see here. All right. I am unable to pull up. I've got a Google Doc here. We put together a Google Doc the other day, and it's a really easy link. So I'm going to send you all the link. Andrew will have the link, and Don Harris will have the link. And what this vendor form is going to be used for is when something goes wrong, anything goes wrong with a particular vendor. So in the case of Pet Dairy last week, when Cortez rolled up at 6:30 in the morning and said, surprise, you're short 800 milks today, and there's nothing we can do about it, what you would do is take this link and just click on it, and there's a series of very quick drop-down boxes. The first thing says, what's the date? And you can drop down and click the date. It puts in the time. You're good to go. It asks your name. Yeah, there you go. Andrew's running it. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. So what's your location? What's your name? And then the name of the vendor, and that's in a drop-down box. Makes it easy for you. Okay. And then the issue of concern. And then you're going to say it was a delivery item, it was a quality item, it was a service item or other. And then if you have an invoice associated with it, put the invoice number in, and you can attach any documents or photos. There is a spot here that we glossed over. Yeah, right there. What is the issue that you're reporting? So there, you would very quickly put in the day, put in the time, put in your name, put in the location. I'm talking about Pet Dairy, and it was a delivery issue. They delivered me no chocolate milk. Okay, done. Click submit. Let's say Taylor Boys rolls in and they bring you rotten romaine. Okay, you enter it here. Let's say Imperial Dade didn't deliver. Imperial Dade brought you the wrong product. Whatever it is, anytime that there's an issue, you need to take literally less than a minute and follow this link. So why is this important? This is important for documentation for us when we get ready to go out and issue bids. Okay. And also in the event that we have somebody who's way underperforming, like the bread company this year. We've seen burnt bread. We've seen the delivery company leave bread at the back door with an invoice blowing in the breeze. We've seen the bread company not calling Sheila back and bringing her bread. We've seen the bread company ignoring Joyce over at Lone Oak. It just goes on and on. But we don't have any documentation right now. It's all anecdotal. So, effective immediately, when you have an issue, fill out the link and we'll connect the data. How will this potentially be used? Again, when we go out for an RFP, we will use it, but it could even be enough data where we could cancel contracts for vendors. Okay, it could get to the point where we say to Bimbo Bread, you know what? You're in breach of contract here. You're not living up to your end of the contract, so we're going to send you down the road and go find somebody else to sell us bread. Could be the same thing with Hershey's ice cream, obviously Pet Dairy. So we need the data. I hate to give you one more thing to do, but it's very helpful to us. So at that point, I think we're going to, one last thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to turn the camera and show you Chef Nick Eaton from the State Department of Education is with us this week. He is at Anderson Mill. The girls at Anderson Mill put him through his paces today. He'll be back at Anderson Mill tomorrow. I think on Thursday, Sunday, he's coming to you. And he's a set of hands in the kitchen as he is here to see what we do in school kitchens on a daily and weekly basis. So Nick will be around. And other than that, the floor is open. Any questions or concerns or comments?
Can you go over the sandwiches that's being forced out?
Yes, thank you. I think that was Brandy, was it?
Yes.
Hey, Brandy. So we got notified through U.S. Foods the other day that there's sandwiches, and thank you, Brandy. They had 160 cases of turkey, ham, and cheese sandwiches that they brought in for us, or they say that they brought in for us. We don't know why they brought them in for us, but they had 10 cases that were going to go out of date on January the 3rd. So I had them brought in. They'll be delivered to you on Wednesday. Fair Force Elementary got 7 cases, and Anderson Mill, I think we sent the other ones. Let's go back and check my notes. No, Fair Forest Elementary and Bobo got those 10 cases. Because you're doing bag lunches on Friday, you can just use those in lieu of the sandwiches that you would have made. Okay, so 7 cases went to Sheila Kane at Fair Forest Elementary, and then 3 cases went to Brandy. Brandy, as I recall, 3 cases is 216 sandwiches. So Sheila, you'll have enough to feed your whole student population. Brandy, you'll have enough to do half or so. Okay, and then in the new year, supposedly there's going to be another 150 cases that we have to bring in with a use-by date of February 28th or so. So if that's the case and we have to bring those in, I'll first ship them out and you can just put them on the line and burn them up.
I have a question.
Hey, well, I got a question for you. How's your cooler running today?
It's been fine. No
Is
problems.
it colder than normal, do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we were there yesterday morning because we were getting cooler alarms.
Josh came by today and put something new in there.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
Okay, I'm going to be by there some morning this week with some tools to take down the fan covers and get that mildew pattern off your roof, walls, and fans, okay?
Okay. The question I have, Cortez says he's going to be delivering after Christmas on the 30th, which is the Friday before we come back.
Yep.
Is somebody going to go around with him, or do we need to plan on being here?
No, it's all covered. Cheryl Luckett's going to be checking temperatures that day. And so she'll meet Cortez, receive the milk order, check your cooler temps, and move on. So that's
Okay.
covered.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm just glad to hear somebody could talk. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Sandy. Anybody else?
I don't know. Can you hear me? I don't know what to do now. Never mind.
I'm muted. All right. So in closing, thank you everybody for attending. Thank you for all you're doing, taking care of kids, and whatever you do whatever you celebrate this holiday season, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Festivus, we hope you celebrate it well and have a wonderful holiday season. And plan on January not using Zoom to meet. We're going to meet in person here because I think we'll get more done in that format. But other than that, if nobody's got anything else, have a great day.
TTFN.
TTFN.